Okay, so we're gonna make a peach cobbler that's really simple. And you can use a real crust if you want that you make from scratch, or you can use pre-made crust like this. Get 2 in a box, and you're gonna need at least 3. So, first, lay out 1 onto your cookie sheet. You can line it, it doesn't matter. Set your timer for 350 on your stove. And while it's preheating, take a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cinnamon, and you make a, little sprinkle, and you sprinkle it all on this, and with a pizza cutter, cut it into strips. Now, we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to put it in there for about 18 minutes, so you can set your timer for 18 minutes, just till it looks a nice golden brown color, because this is going to be the dough that's in the middle of your peach cobbler. You're going to have a bottom crust, you're going to have your filling, you're going to put these pieces into the crust and then put a top on it. Okay? 18 minutes, we'll come back and I'll show you how to put the rest together. While your middle crust is cooking in the oven for its 18 minutes, what you'd like to do in the meantime is get your next crust. If it's pliable, if you can work with it in your hands and it doesn't fall apart, you can kind of stretch it a little bit, and you're going to put it in a 9 by 13 dish like this. And once you get it in, you can kind of push it around to where it needs to go, but mostly they fit pretty well. After you do that, you take your pizza cutter and cut away the excess, so it just covers the bottom of the pan, and I'll show you what that looks like. Like that, right? When this is finished, set this to the side, and let's make up the middle. The middle is really easy, and it's fast to make. You can start with your peaches. I have 4 cans of the small, but you can get 2 cans of the large, and it's plenty. So either or will work. Pour them with the juice into your bowl. Don't drain them, because this is what's going to make the broth. My grandma made this all the time, and it goes really far. So if you're going to cook it, be ready to have it feed a lot of people, or you can put it in the refrigerator and you can warm it back up. All right, so now we have 1.5 cups of sugar. We add that to the peaches. We have 2 tablespoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. The recipe will be written on the bottom of the YouTube video if you need to check back, but it's teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of lemon. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. And it's going to smell strong, but I promise it's not after it cooks. Okay, so all of your ingredients are in the bowl except for butter. You're going to have 1.5 sticks of butter. Melt it in the microwave like that, and add it to your peaches. And now you can do 2 things here. You can leave it just as it is and cook it for the 55 minutes, and it's going to be really, really watery. And some of my kids like it watery, some of them like it thicker. So today we're going to make it a little bit thicker. So I put a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch in a bowl, and I add a little bit of water, and this is called a slurry. This is what you use anytime you want to thicken a gravy or thicken a soup, or in our case, we're going to thicken the sauce of our peach cobbler. And I just pour that inside. From here, you just mix it really well. It kind of doesn't matter because it's all going to blend together as it cooks anyway. You probably want to have vanilla ice cream too on hand for after it's finished. Now, we're going to set this to the side. And we're going to take out our other crust, because this is going to be our top layer. And when you get these from the grocery store or out of your refrigerator, they're crumbly. So the trick is to take them out ahead of time and let them kind of warm up, and then you can work with them a whole lot easier. And you can make your own homemade crust, but if you're in a hurry, this works just perfect. and no one knows the difference. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take this big bowl of your sauce and be sure and scrape the bottom to get all the sugar and butter that clings to the bowl into your pan. With that done, you also want to keep a sharp knife to make the rest of your crust. This is your cooked middle. The reason you want to cook the middle like this is so that it's all your dough isn't doughy. The bottom will be kind of doughy, the top will be crusty, the middle you want to be crusty. With clean hands, just break it up, set it on top, and then you're just going to push it down. I use my fingers, please don't send me any bad comments, this is only for my family. You just kind of get them wet. They're going to stay together and they're going to kind of hold your peach cobbler together when it's done so that it's not so soupy. Now, with this crust, since the pan's a little bigger, you're going to use a roller and you're going to roll your crust just a little bit thinner so that it'll cover a longer space. You may have to patchwork it together and that's no problem because it only changes the way it looks. It doesn't change the way it tastes. So on my wax paper, I peel this off and I lay it on top of my peach cobbler like that. I kind of spread it. These crusts work really well, kind of like Play-Doh. They're real elasticy. Again, you take your pizza cutter, trim it so that it fits well. You're going to want to cut some slits so that the steam can escape. That. And then for a garnish, I take the rest of my cinnamon and sugar sprinkle it on top. And we're ready to go in the oven. Now, what I do, it never has ran over, but just in case you have a smaller or shorter 13 by 9 inch pan, put a jelly roll pan or a cookie sheet or something underneath it to catch it if it's to bubble over. So now, we add it to a 350 degree oven that's preheated. And you're going to want to cook that for 50 to 55 minutes. Once you cook it for 50 or 55 minutes, it'll be nice and golden brown on top. Pull it out, set it on top of your oven. You're not going to want to eat it right away. At least give it about 30 to 40 minutes to kind of cool down. Serve it with ice cream or serve it plain, and it can be kept in the refrigerator and warmed up later. Okay, it's been 55 minutes. It's time to pull it out of the oven. Be careful, it's heavy and it's really hot and it will slosh around if you're not careful. There you go. If you want to pick up the camera to take a look at what the crust looks like. You see how it's all bubbling around the sides? It's perfect. Leave it for about 30 or 40 minutes before you serve it. And I hope you enjoy.